You want to see if they playing with you? Take that phone.
Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Yip to My Yap. I'm Star Erica Star, and today I'm here with...
Hi guys, my name is Mel.
And today we are talking about life after long relationships. So we're just going to go straight into it. First question is, how long was your most recent relationship and how significant was it in your life?
Oof. I had to do that real quick. All right. Okay, so my longest relationship was about 4 years. I would say, like, if you count the talking stage, like 4.5. Mm-hmm. The significance of that relationship, it was very significant. I feel like every time I learned something about myself, it was like character development. Mm-hmm. It's like I didn't want that. I didn't deserve that, but I definitely needed it, and I'm grateful. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the significance of it all, like the beauty of it all.
So let's recap what the beginning of the end felt like and how we got there.
What a story. Wow. The beginning of the end and how we got there. Okay. So it's like, you guys see the emoji that's like going like this and like biting their their nails. That's me right now in the inside. The beginning was great. It was, like I said, blissful. It was exciting. It was fun. It was something like I really didn't think that it was gonna end. Mm-hmm. Like the feeling where it was ever gonna go away. This is somebody that I met and I really wasn't interested. And those be the ones you gotta be careful for. Mm-hmm. The ones that you're not interested in the beginning, because those are the ones that are gonna end you. Yeah. Literally. But I wasn't interested, and then I ended up being interested, and I fell so hard. Like,
when did you know you were falling?
Probably the second time around when we tried again, because it was something that was like, we were really young and we, were really young. So it's just like, there's always going to be, hey, like, I want to try this, I want to try that. You're going to want to try things, you're going to want to explore, and that's totally okay. But it just wasn't going to work out at that time for the type of person that I am. I know what I want, and I always wanted something serious. I never been for the games. Yeah. So I think that we just weren't compatible there. Mm-hmm. And I really do think that was the problem overall. The fact that we weren't compatible in commitment. Like, our commitment was not the same. Our boundaries was definitely not the same. Yeah. So around the second time we tried again, and it was basically like a college sweetheart relationship. It lasted about my whole college experience. Mm-hmm. 4 years. I'm a little behind, so an extra year. An extra year. So I would say definitely 4 years. It was 4 years of my life consistently. Mm-hmm. Then
how long was the break between the first time you guys tried and the second time?
A year.
Okay.
It was definitely like a year and some change. Mm-hmm. I was in a relationship with someone else. This person was in a relationship with someone else as well. Mm-hmm. Getting into the relationship, I didn't really think like, hey, this isn't going to work out, because I assume if you're coming back, like, and
you must have thought about this
case, like, hey, like, I got this. I worked on it. We can definitely do this. Like, yeah, it just, you guys, I was in a stereotypical queer relationship. Like, that's the only way I can put it, where the girlfriend has a best friend who, it was more of this is somebody I'm in a relationship with, and, they already explained to me prior what I'm getting myself into, but, like, I'm not thinking of infidelity and adultery. Like, I'm not thinking of cheating. I'm just thinking, these are people you introduced to me as your friends, and you told me past experiences, and I don't expect you to do that while we're in a relationship. You understand? Yeah. So I was okay with it because we are grown and we can speak about it. Mm-hmm. In other words, the person I was with, they had a best friend who also has a girlfriend. And turns out that girlfriend was the ex-girlfriend of my past partner.
Okay.
So it was just like a triangle there. And I just didn't fit in that triangle.
It was not doing squares.
Honest here, I feel like I was collateral damage. Like,
oh my God.
genuinely.
Yeah.
That's what heartbreak feels like. Especially when you're cheated on. It's like, you used me to get where you wanted to be. That's so ugly.
Yeah. So you say that you would have stayed if your ex hadn't left. So what did that look like? Did they get caught and they were like, you know what? I'm gonna end this. I got caught. Sorry. Or like, how did that end?
Nah, they got caught multiple times.
Oh.
I'm very confrontational.
So how'd they finally leave?
I think confrontation is healthy.
Yeah.
And they didn't like confrontation, and that was the problem. The problem was, I think that they got tired, and that's why they were like, oh, I'm done. Like, I'm definitely done. Like, I'm done with hearing you every day on my phone. There's always something new. Like,
so stop fucking up. Like,
exactly. But then it's like, how are you going to tell a narcissist, hey, stop fucking up? Like, it's like, it goes right over your head. Like, I'm telling you, hey, I have a problem with this. Hey, I don't know what we can do. Like, do you have any ideas? I have some ideas, you know, we can bounce back off of them.
What were your ideas?
Like, to just be honest. That was my idea off rip. Like,
yeah, but what if the honesty was like, oh, I just saw someone else last night? Like, is that okay? Like,
a lie always hurts more than the truth. So I rather honesty rather than a lie, because it's gonna hurt way more. It's always gonna hurt way more.
you fucking me up here. So I'm just confused just as to how like you can be okay with the honesty, but with the honesty comes consistently getting hurt. Because even though like a lie hurts more, like the action behind the honesty, like what they were doing, what they have to admit to you is fucking painful. Like why would you be even more okay with that or okay with it at all?
Because without struggle, there's no progress.
Girl.
No, it's because genuinely, you guys, like, I love love, but being in love for me is like, I'm so blindly in love that it's just like, I'm willing to work on it so hard for it to get right. You know what I mean? For us to get right back on track. That is like, yeah, I know this. There's things that I've experienced. There's things that I know. There's things that I tell you that I know. And, you know, I choose to stay. Right? But it does get better. But for how long? Because there's always a backtrack. You understand? So I feel like that's where the difficulty comes in to part, because it's like, it's a lot. And it genuinely, you're one person. So just imagine how messed up that has you. Like your mental, your physical, everything. Your whole life feels like it's falling apart. It's so like sad to think about, because I get asked these questions now and I'm like, yo, but like, I see things for what they are now, and it's so whack. It sucks so much. Yeah. Because it's like, I hate to see that's really who you are as a person. Like everyone who took part in that, I feel like everyone who knew as well what was going on behind my back and still was in my face, a kaka kiki. Yeah. Because that's what it is. It's just like, it's not fair. I personally wouldn't do that to somebody. I definitely would tell like a friend, like, hey, this is going on. You may not want to hear it, but you know? Yeah.
So if you were put in the same situation now, would you stay or would you like dip it in the butt by the beginning?
I definitely would nip it in the butt. Okay. I don't even think I would ever be in a situation like that again. Okay. Genuinely, based off of this one experience, 4 years is a long time.
Yeah, that's not just one experience. That's a group of experiences.
365 times 4 it's and some change.
Like, no, I feel like all it takes is that one very long toxic experience to kind of like teach you how to catch on to bullshit a lot sooner. Because, I mean, I feel, okay, this is one thing. I feel like everyone has had that one toxic relationship that lasted way too long. Like way too long. And mine was from the ages of 16 to 19. Those were the years that dude took of my life.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was like people in between because there were breaks, and like to give you a feel of the type of relationship it was like we wouldn't be together, and he could say like, oh, you do whatever you want and get all upset, da, da, da. And then I would do whatever I wanted. And then we would get back together, and then he would take everything I did when I was doing what I wanted and use it against me. So that was a pain. And
that's so manipulative.
Yeah, but that's what I was used to. And then he would play me, and I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess it's a tit for tat situation now. And I'm like, I guess I played you before. But I'm like, no, you played me while we were together. And he had me thinking that the stuff that I was doing while I was single was so bad that what he did wasn't bad at all. You know, it was one of those situations. It was one of those, like, until you've been in a toxic relationship, you don't understand, like, you know, why people stay or anything. And it's like, no, you stay because you really, like, because I say what I say now where I'm like, girl, like, you lost me about, like, what you're saying about never leaving, but I would have never left him. And, well, no, it's not that I did end up leaving him, but there was a period of time where I was like, oh, but like, we'll work through this and stuff. And like, you know, when you hear people say, oh, we've been through hell and back, and that's not what hell and back is supposed to look like. Hell and back is like, you know, like somebody's, you know, family member is in the hospital and like you're there for that person through that time. It's not, oh, you played me and it's like, oh, well, we got through it, or, you know, blaming a whole bunch of other things outside of themselves. Like, that's not what hell and back is. Hell and back is pushing through things together. But I didn't know that because I was young, and everyone's got to go through that.
I feel like everyone has that one relationship, and this one was mine.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about how there's always that one heartbreak. And I just feel like I can never come back from that.
Yeah. I feel like you were in that relationship and you were like, that's not going to be me. We lasted so long. And then it hits you.
It's just because after the relationship, I genuinely noticed, like, through conversations and, you know, through my loved ones, like, how much I changed. And I just noticed how ugly I became, like, in that relationship. And how I picked up on bad habits and certain things that it's just like getting into that relationship changed me for worse, not for better.
Yeah.
And that's not what a relationship is about. It's like, damn, why did I leave this relationship? And I feel so much better. Like, it should never feel like that. It's like, you know, one of the questions my best friend would always ask me is, hey, you know, I know you really love this person, but what are you gaining from this relationship? And what are you losing? And ever so often, when it came to gaining and losing, I had nothing to lose. And I didn't gain anything but 4 years of hell.
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like. It was a very dark, sad time in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad I got out of that.
Would you say that like she caught you at a vulnerable time in your life and that's why you were accepting of?
No.
Damn.
It's funny because I can take accountability. I've always taken accountability, but prior to that relationship, I was already in a relationship and I'm the one who cheated. Like, you know, I'm the one who cheated. However, I did communicate that with my partner at that time. Like, you know, it wasn't easy, but if you really love somebody, you got to be honest with them. They deserve that. They deserve to know the truth, because I'm a person that I yearn for clarity. I yearn for closure, and you have to accept that sometimes you're never going to get that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we're going to get there later in the episode.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, clearly, you know, you're better now after the relationship and you realize all the things that you lost
definitely
from yourself.
I feel like I was definitely, before you get into a relationship, you're always good. You're always your original, like, like just you.
Yeah.
The moment you get into a relationship with somebody else, it's you and someone else and their baggage.
Yeah.
You know, you have to deal with yourself, your baggage, them, and whatever baggage their baggage comes with. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in, genuinely.
Yeah, and I was thinking about something you said, just how you say like you pick up certain habits and stuff. And one of mine, and it was weird because like my very first boyfriend ever, he didn't do this. He didn't care when I hung out with like my friends and stuff, and he didn't care when I made new friends. He was always like super supportive of all that, and like that's the person that I am. That's part of like the person I was, you know, before being in a relationship, just someone who likes talking to people and all that. And then I, you know, got with my first super toxic boyfriend.
Oh man.
And for him, it was like it felt as if for him, he felt like he was settling for the fact that I had the friends that I had, and that I was as close to the friends that I had, because it almost felt like he didn't like that I could care for other people even close to the amount that I cared for him. So after him, and even all the people in between him and after him, I thought that was a normal thing. I thought like, okay, when you get into a relationship, you can't make any new friends. You're stuck with the friends that you have once you started. And if you lose any, like at some point when you get married, you're going to end up with just him. And that's kind of the point. And then I was just like, looking back now, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
That's fucking disgusting. Like who stayed? Okay, first off, I initially got with this guy when I was 17. I'm like, imagine being stuck with only the people I've known from the ages of 17 and before then.
That's sad.
Like, like you usually lose a decent chunk of those between then and, you know, when you get older. I was like, why did I think that was okay? And so, you know, I think what's even, I don't want to say harder than being in a toxic relationship was learning to be in a healthy one, because then... Yeah.
Cause it's like, no, wow. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the transition from, hey, I got you flowers every day, to wow, you're so nice. This is so good to be true. It's just like this is so good to be true. It kind of creates self-sabotage. Like, nah.
It's almost a thing of like, not so much I don't deserve this, is just realizing how not used to it you are. Because for me, I mean, I know some girls go through that where they're just like, actually, I don't deserve this because somebody before you made me feel like I wasn't deserving. But for me, it was me realizing like how much I was settling for before. I was like, wait. So I was getting even less than the bare minimum, and I was like over the moon. Like with one of my exes, it was one of those things where I was just grateful anytime we had a good day. That like almost every day was like some shit was gonna pop off. He was gonna get mad over something. Like there was, I don't know if I've talked about this in a previous episode, but I'm gonna bring it up again. There was one time he had my location. Like he always had my location. I wasn't allowed to have his. I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And full transparency, one of the guys that I had messed around with during one of our breaks had lived close to me at the time. And so he wanted my location because he felt like anytime I left the house, I just might go be a hoe and stop at this guy. I'm like, whoa. Like, first off, if you even if you thought that of me, then why are you with me? Like, that's crazy. So one time I went to go get milk without telling him. My grandma had asked me, oh, go to the store to get milk. It was literally across the street. He calls me after I get home, like, where the fuck did you go when you left the house like an hour ago? I'm like, to get milk. He said, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, what? And this is, oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks. So he used to ride his bike all the time. And when he was riding his bike, obviously he can't talk on the phone. And he would ride for hours. And I wouldn't hear from him. And the only thing he would do maybe is like post something on a Snapchat story of like the view of wherever he's at. And I'd be like, so you could post on Snap, but you can't answer my text? And he'd be like, oh, a Snapchat takes like 2 seconds. Like responding means like, I got to sit down and respond for minutes at a time. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Ouch.
Yeah. And so I started looking for things that I could do that allowed me to not have to be up his ass for like sections of time. And all I could think about was doing my nails. Like when I get my nails done, that's a solid 2 hours that I don't have to answer him, that I don't have to say anything.
Right.
And like that bothered me a lot, because I'm just like, okay, but when he gets to ride his bike, he gets to do that for hours on end until whenever he wants, and he gets that freedom. And I'm here looking for freedom, doing my nails, even though like I'm preoccupied with something. I literally can't even do anything else except focus on my nails getting done.
Yeah, basically.
Like, that's weird. Like I was so fucking stupid. Like, just full transparency, I just feel like that's so dumb looking back, that I'm looking for freedom to just exist without having to speak to him.
It's young love, you know?
Yeah, but I'm just making myself an example for everyone listening because that shit's stupid. If you're in anything close to that kind of situation, that's no.
Learn from us, guys.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
got fucked up. So, okay, so what did grief look like for you at the beginning of the breakup? Like the relationship just ended. Are you crying all the time? Are you numb? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to tell everyone about it?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a great question. I actually haven't spoken about this, like, breakup at all.
Oh.
Like, I have to my intermediate people, like, here and there, but at some point I shut off. Like, going into the new year, I had a conversation with the person and I was like, hey, like, I do not want to bring this into the new year. I have so much I need to work on in myself, and I would love for you to do that with me and we can grow together, but I just couldn't tolerate that no more. I'm a woman of value. We are women of value, and when that's the problem that happens to us in relationships. We kind of like get lost in the sauce and get lost in the love, and we forget who we are. And then it's like, hello, where are you?
Yeah.
Like, it's so sad. Genuinely, grief, man. Grief is something. All right,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Grief is hard. Grief is different. People grieve differently. My type of grief was, I don't know. It was very weird because the way the breakup ended, it was so abruptly. It was on a regular day. Like, you guys, I know the exact date, time, everything. It was a hot summer day in July, and your girl is having a sleepover in her best friend's house, and it's the next day, and I'm like, hey, let me hit my girlfriend up for some sushi, like, on me, like, it's nice out, let's do something.
Yeah.
And around that time, shit wasn't all that good. We had just came back from a trip as well, great trip, but not all that great. It was just like, I was getting a lot of revelations, like, in the last few months. And I don't know. I genuinely didn't want to go on that trip. And I expressed that prior to them, being purchased. And then it was like at some point, it's like, hey, they're free.
Yeah.
And, maybe I do need a little vacation. And maybe we do need to maybe fall back in line. I came back single. I went on my trip in a relationship, and girl, I came back single. A week later, just know I was single. Not because I did anything wrong exactly, but because, like I said earlier, it was just overwhelming. It was very overwhelming for the both of us. Like, hey, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And hey, what are you talking about? But you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Grief for me in the beginning was hard simply because on that day, I didn't expect that. And we got into a heated argument, and I was so persistent on the no, but you're going to come get me because I need to talk to you in person. That's me. I need to talk to everyone in person because I need to read body language. I don't like miscommunication, especially when I'm angry and passionately and want to understand something. Like, I cannot understand you through text. I do not know what you mean. I'm frustrated. Are you screaming? Like, what did you mean? Like,
like, did that period mean something? Like,
yeah. So it was just like, yeah, she ended up picking me up, and so on and so forth. We're just the whole time, it's a screaming match in the car. Tears, everything. I'm like, yo, like, imagine somebody telling you, like, hey, like, I don't think this is gonna work out anymore 4 years later, after they're the one who committed the infidelity in the beginning and spun back on you, and you gave them a chance, and you left that other relationship you was in that was actually really good. It was great. It was amazing. It was everything you wish this relationship could have kind of been.
Damn.
And not really, because everyone is different.
Yeah.
And those two people are two different people. But it's just, if I can, some characteristics from, it's just certain things, certain gestures people do. Like, it's really in you, not on you. And for you to have ethics and common sense in relationships, like I said, it's in you, not on you. And I genuinely feel like you have to like somebody, for real. And I feel like she felt like she has so much control in me that she can toy and play with me however. And she knew that I was never leaving because I wanted it to work out so bad. Because when I fell in love, it was just like a, hey, you're the one for me. And I know you're the one for me. And I'm going to make sure you're the one for me. And, you know, God had other plans for me. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but grieving was hard because on that day, I fought her.
What? Like fist fought her?
Fought her. Yeah, I couldn't control my emotions, my anger. Like, how are you going to tell me you don't want to be with me? And a few months ago, I was literally crying, depressed, telling you like, hey, like, I'm really sad. I really need to feel loved. Like, I'm lacking affection. I'm lacking so much. Like, then I find out again that you committed infidelity yet again. And I'm like, yo, mind you, this is right after my birthday. Our birthdays are around the same time. It was like a lot of things were coming out to light.
Yeah.
It was so much. It was so much. Like, it was the best friend who told me all the tea about her cheating. And it was just like, your friends ain't really your friends. And I always used to tell you this. And now look at you. Sad with the same people in your circle.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, so that's really what it was. We ended up getting into it. It was definitely me. I ended up taking her phone, you guys. You want to see if they playing with you? Take that phone. Take it.
God.
Take it. For real. I took the phone and I just sat on the phone. I promise y'all, I sat on the phone. I just sat on it. I swear I sat on it. I definitely did. And she went bananas after that. It was crazy. World War III broke loose. Like, I never thought I was ever going to put my hands on somebody like that.
So you fought in the car?
In the car, out the car.
Oh my God.
She ended up calling her mom. That's really what, like, provoked me so much. Like, it made me so angry. Like, there was so much wrath there that I was just like, oh, you're calling your mom? Like, I love your mom. And your mom loves me. Like, I really do. I love her. But you're really about to make me seem crazy right now. And I'm only crazy because of you. And a lot of people know that because I expressed to the parent as well, like, hey, who raised your kid? Because they're fucking up. They're messing up. They're making you look really bad. Like, I'm telling you what they did to me. Because I am that girl. Like, I will tell you, like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, confrontation is healthy. It's just how people really decide to take that and go on about it.
Yeah.
But after that, we fought. It was crazy. She called her mom. I said, you're calling your mom? What? Like, it just, you know what happened? They ended up coming where we were at. I had to leave. It was really crazy. It was a crazy experience. My whole family got involved. It was very crazy.
Yeah.
I really thought we were done. Mind you, after I did that, I went home. I didn't even go home. That's how bad it was. Because we also lived 3 blocks away from each other.
Oh my God.
We live in the same neighborhood. Like, we have mutual friends. Like, it was like, I don't want to be around. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to feel. I don't know what I want. I didn't cry throughout that whole breakup. I cried once because I was cooking and I made some spaghettis for my best friend. And I didn't think that they were good enough for her. But I knew that they would be good enough for my ex-partner. I know my ex-partner would have been like, I love them. Wow, like, they're so good. Like, you ate. Like, you know, I don't know. I guess it was just like I missed her in that moment. That was the only time I cried. And then I laughed after. And yeah, that was really the first time I cried after the breakup. After the fighting and everything, of course, you're going to be overwhelmed, overstimulated. Like, wow, I just did that. The adrenaline was insane. I was grieving the fact that I did something wrong. Not the relationship. Genuinely. It was just, wow, I really did that. Like, I really lifted my hand up to somebody that I genuinely love. And it may not have been the first time, but yeah, that time I was like, yeah, you need that. I want that. Like, because I just feel like there's only so much somebody can take. And I always express, damn, like, I know everything. I have proof. Like, to this day, I have all the evidence and the proof in my phone that I will never in my life put out because it's just like, it's embarrassing to me. Embarrassing. Like, it's so embarrassing. It's just like, girl, you're mad dumb. Like, because a lot of the times you're judged. You're judged. People misjudge. People judge all the time. And respectfully, we can't really judge anybody. Yeah. Like, who are you to judge? Who are you to say that that's okay and that isn't okay? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, even the part that you said, you know, like you put your hands on her, like I've said this before. I'm not proud of it, but I put my hands on somebody before. And it's like, it's something that I grew up seeing. Like my mother has put her hands on my dad before. And
Yeah.
they're not together now. There's for good reason.
No,
But
yeah.
it's something that I've always said, like, I would never do that. And my dad, like, growing up had always told me, like, whatever you do, never put your hands on a man. Not so much because he cared about me getting hit, but more so because he'd be like, listen, I got to handle him if he touches you after
Right.
that.
Right.
But it's something where, like, even though I know objectively, like, that's wrong. It's wrong to put your hands on somebody. On anybody you care about,
absolutely.
whatever. But it's just, like, at the same time, though I know that's true, I can understand how much anger you... Like, because it gets to a point where it's like, if you're not listening to me, you're going to feel me. Like, something.
Yeah. It's just like I said, I was trying to end the relationship when I found out again that, you know, you did me wrong and you weren't trying to let me go. And I was actually ready. And then I was like, you know what? Like, she wants this. Like, I'm going to pull through.
Yeah.
Because whatever God put me through, he can get me through and get us out of it. So, you know, I have strong faith. Like, I believe, like, anything that's negative could be turned into a positive.
Yeah.
I'm always optimistic. It's so funny because how are you so sad but optimistic? Like, you have to be optimistic. You can't.
Yeah.
There
You got
can't
to
be
know this
space.
doesn't last forever.
You know, there has to be limitations and things like that. But it's just... Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it's still even like conflicting now talking about it.
It is conflicting because to this day, I still find myself finding things out of myself or learning new things or certain niches that I don't like or that people do that it is just like dating, which is something new. Like, it's so much. It's so much to take in. It's also like living with that experience and that trauma and like, you know, like I said earlier, made me ugly. So now I have to fix things and unharden my heart and be kinder to people. Just because you're rude and mean doesn't mean I have to reciprocate that energy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, that.
So now that you say that, like, what has dating been like post breakup? Like after that situation and stuff, what are you learning about yourself after being, you know, off the market for so long?
Yo. Somebody told me the other day, I'm so happy you're single. And I get a lot of those in my DMs.
Yeah.
And I find this so funny because, wow, if only that person knew the woman that they lost. Like, wow. Because I'm not gonna lie, I closed myself off to the idea of even dating after because I already knew that after that, they were going to jump into that relationship. They were going to stay in their triangle, or whatever the case may have been. You know, I can't really speak on that because I don't know. You know, don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, I don't know. Very much single, very much living their life. Absolutely. Love that for you. I'm just glad I'm not in that.
Yeah.
Dating, haven't even thought of it. I'm not gonna lie, simply because it's just like dating in this generation is horrible, especially in New York City. The love of my life can definitely not be from here.
Yeah.
Definitely not be from here. It's hard. I have a lot of icks, you know. Dating is extra harder when you're trying to get into dating both men and women. And it's just like, I'm so used to being with a woman, comfort. It's just so, like, I like both genders, but I prefer to be with a woman.
Yeah.
And men, there's certain things that they do that it's just like, brother, oh, like, you kill me. Like, why you did that?
Like what?
Everything. Like, the way they breathe. And like, no, I'm joking. But it's just like, I guess it's a comfort thing. And then it's certain things that men do that it's just like, I would never do that. Or like, ew, that's kind of gross. Or like, you know, it's just certain things are like, why would you say that? Or wow, that's how you're thinking of me.
Yeah.
Dating has been very hard because it's very lusty out here. It's very much like, yo, I was on FaceTime with a guy the other day and he was so mesmerized with my face. Like, we couldn't converse about anything else. but like you're so pretty, and it's just like, if that's what dating is, that was me dipping my toe.
Yeah.
That was me dipping my toe in the
Yeah.
waters. If that's what dating is like, y'all can have it.
Yeah, no.
Y'all can have it.
Yeah, that stuff, it is a little annoying because then it's like, because sometimes you try to cut them slack and you're like, okay, maybe like I'm just gorgeous. You know what? I'll give you that for the first phone call, let you embrace me. But after, can we have a fucking conversation after that? Sometimes, like, at least when I was single, I would cut them some slack there. But the fact that, I don't know, because then some other guys, they're just fucking stupid. Like, they think that that's what it takes to get in a girl's pants. And the reason that and you know what? I cut everybody slack. Listen, I'm not judging anybody. Because the reason they do that is because sometimes it works. Not even sometimes. Maybe it's been working a lot. You know, like, I feel like it's a mix of guys getting becoming a lot more forward in like the grossest ways. Girls getting a little easier in other ways. And it's like the ones who are trying hard, like to actually find something, are just meeting the wrong people. I think it just takes time.
That's a great way to put it. I definitely feel like men are more sassier nowadays than us women. I feel like we know what we want and we're more grounded and we're more to the point and straightforward. And hey, I want this is what I'm looking for. I don't like that. You know, fix it. And they always try to beat around the bush something, you know? And that doesn't just apply to men. That applies to women as well.
Yeah.
It applies to both genders. It's really hard out here. With women, it's hard to date because sometimes people don't know how to differentiate like flirting and being friendly. Like, I could tell you you're so pretty, but you may think that you're so pretty, like, yo, like, but it's just like, I'm a girl and I like to genuinely hype girls up.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you look mad good right now. That's me as a girl.
Yeah.
But that's not me flirting. That's just me like, yo, you ate that up, sister. Like, you know?
So we're going to get into our first round of this or that's that I'm going to ask. These are the breakup related ones.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the first one, are you more the type to, well, I think we kind of figured this one out, but let me ask again. Are you the type to just cry it out alone or vent to friends when it comes to just like post-breakup situations?
I'll cry it out for a few times before it gets to my friends. And then I'll get to my friends and I'll have a vent session with them.
I had the same exact answer.
But that's because I had to learn at some point that you can't always go to your friends and vent because it creates resentment towards their relationship with your partner.
I mean, that's well, you say you guys have mutual friends though, right? Because you guys grew up in the same, Because I figure it's different when like my friends had no connection to my person before.
Even if there isn't a connection, I feel like.
Really? I'm very much the type where it's like, you know, you got to pick a side. Like, which one? Yeah. Just because, I don't know. I've had too many situations where people stay cool with my ex and I'm like, why? Like, especially after, and maybe it's like I'm on the other side of what you just said. Like, I'm like, after you heard how this person either played me or did me dirty, like, why would you want to be friends with them? Like, why are those characteristics of someone that you'd want to stay cool with and say is your friend? Because the way you treat your partner and the way you treat your friends, like, yeah, there are differences here and there, but like, if you're the type to cheat on your man or cheat on your girl, like, I'm going to clock you as your friend. But if you keep on doing that and you think that that's okay, I'm going to be like, I don't trust your judgment and I don't know how you would treat me as a friend. And that's when I start feeling weird. So I'm very much like, pick a side.
I get that. I definitely do understand that. You know, this is where discernment comes into part. And this is where your friends would know that there's a certain boundary already put up there.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I didn't really have that problem. All my friends and family were just like, you know, I was very vocal. I told everybody like distance automatically created. Like, I don't want this and this. And it was beautiful while it was what it was, vice versa, because I had a very beautiful time with her family. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved them until death do us part, for real. Because if I ever loved you, I'll always love you. That's how I was raised.
Yeah.
What Drake said. But boundaries, definitely boundaries. You would just know that right then and there, you know. With this relationship, I definitely vocalized like, yeah, no, cut off. But, you know, I do have exes where my friends and my family, they are still cool with them. They interact here and there. And I don't have a problem with that because that has nothing to do with me. Like the relationship, the bond that they created in that moment, that has nothing to do with me. That's none of my business, you know?
Do you think that would bother any like future partners that your family's still cool with an ex?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a boundary. That's another boundary.
Yeah. So like, would you tell your family like, for as long as I'm with this person, I need you to cut my ex off? Like, how does that work? Out of respect for your partner.
They're just gonna be cut off completely.
You would cut off your family.
Oh no, my ex.
Oh,
completely. Like I would tell them like, oh, just cut the contact. You know, because obviously once I have a partner, I automatically know because like I said, common sense shouldn't be that hard. Like you're not gonna like it because I'm not gonna like it. And I don't want that done to me, so I'm gonna fix it right away.
Yeah, like why am I coming to dinner and your mom's inviting your ex? Like
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like it's just that's not it. And in my past relationship, that was a problem that the ex was around. Even the thing is that in that circumstance, that relationship was when they were teenagers. So to me, I didn't really look at it as a fault. Like it's gonna affect me in the long run after.
Yeah.
But with this person, like we bonded so good. So I thought like I genuinely created, like I grew so much love and a friendship. Well, like I said, so I thought. Come to find out, the ex-girlfriend ended up becoming the main at some point. I don't even know how that ended up happening. Which is a false narrative that apparently I created in my head. That's basically what people go off of. It's so triggering when someone tells me like, oh, you created this false narrative. Because that's what I was always told. Like, this is a false ass narrative and you're going to run with it. And it's like, you're crazy. Manipulation is a form of witchcraft.
Wait,
like,
what?
How are you telling me what I know that is true, that is not true? And I have evidence and people seen it. And, you know, so that's what ended up happening.
That's what she tried telling you? That all that was just fucking made up?
Yeah, and so did the ex-girlfriend that became the main. That was my friend because I took a liking. That was my friend. That was, she doesn't have to say that she was, but that was my friend. That was my friend. I liked her as a friend. Like I hate friendship heartbreaks. Like friendship heartbreaks hurt, I promise you, more than a heartbreak. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't wish a friendship heartbreak on my worst enemy.
Because you don't expect a break. There is no breakup in friends. Like, that's not, you make a friend and you're like, yay, friends forever. Whether we get distance and close.
But I felt so played in that situation. Because it's like, oh, so you're my friend. And like, when you start hanging around people, like you start picking up on their habits. Like you start, hey, like, the lingo starts rubbing off, like the way y'all look starts to rub off. Yeah. The way y'all shower, the way y'all dress, the way y'all eat your food, everything. So it's like character development there. That's how I feel. And it's just kind of like, 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 I don't know. I never went through something. I never felt something like that genuinely, like that. Yeah. But then it's like, at some point I was like, I can't even be mad because what was I thinking? That was the ex-girlfriend. Like, Mel, what were you thinking? Like, you were so oblivious.
Because
like,
regardless,
so
an ex is an ex. Like, if they held significance in your life of any sort, like, I'm already like, Post-relationship, was there a moment where something clicked and you finally felt like yourself again?
Post-relationship?
Or do you know that if you've even gotten there?
Yeah.
What was that?
I woke up one day and didn't want to deal with that no more. Genuinely. That's when it clicked for me.
Really?
My best friend always told me, like, one day you're just going to wake up and you're going to be so tired and you're really going to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I yearned for that. And like 3 to 6 months later, it hit me. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I saw this thing somewhere and it was like, you just get over it on a random day. Like literally.
Yeah, quite literally. Like you really do wake up one day and feel different. It's just, I didn't want to deal with that no more. It was draining for me. I was in a bad place because of someone else who doesn't even value themselves the way I see their value. It's like I was in a relationship with potential. Because that's what it was. That's what it was. Like, that individual has so much potential, so much value. I speak so highly of them till this day. Love them. Give credit when it's due always. They always gonna get their flowers. But they're not all that great.
Yeah. They're not for you.
Yeah. Not for me, but for somebody else for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I feel like was very difficult for me, because it's like when you're in a toxic relationship of any sort, or a manipulative relationship, or in a relationship with a narcissist, whatever it is, you put in all this work, and I feel like part of the reason you don't want to leave is because you don't want to build them up for someone else. That's like one of the hardest things, I feel like, at least in my experience. It's just like, you know, you're working with them and things are getting better and you're slowly getting there, and you realize that there little things in their brain start clicking where they realize, like, maybe I'm not a great person. Maybe I should learn from this experience. And then you realize that they just don't want to be that person for you. And you have to accept that. You have to realize, like, you know what? Like, I've tried my hardest. I've done everything that I could. And you kind of have to put your pride to the side, because you can know that you're a great person. You can know that you're loyal, you're honest, and all this stuff. But that's just, is not for them. You got to be like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, it's just hard to step back.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see something for what it is, because a lot of the times we don't want to be honest with ourselves, and we don't want to see things for what they are. And that's really where we like put the shades on. So I feel like that's what elongates staying or anything else, really, genuinely.
So after you guys broke up and, like, you know, you're on your healing journey, did you find yourself through being alone, through community, therapy, or creativity?
I feel like it's a mixture of everything. Definitely self-isolated a few times. My friends gave me the room to self-isolate as well. Like, they also stopped speaking to me in certain points. Yeah, self-isolation, because I needed to self-reflect, and I didn't really want to feel everything. I didn't want to grieve. I didn't want to put myself there and never get up and not want to shower and not want to eat and not want to do my hair and be unmotivated. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. So I always kept myself occupied. My friends were a very big part in that, very big help. That's something I also learned getting out of the relationship as well. Like, why am I searching for the love I have in front of me and around me? Like, I don't need a relationship. I don't need to be with a man. I don't need to be with a woman. I don't need anything that you have that I can't give myself.
Yeah.
And on top of that, platonic relationships are it. Clock that. Like, your friends will literally get you out of anything. Like, they will make you feel better. They understand you in ways other people don't, you know. It's just, we were always doing something. There was always an activity, or, you know, my friends got me into things that I never thought I would be doing.
Yeah.
Like, just kept myself occupied, tried to do new things. Now, did I change anything about myself? No. And it's so funny, because usually in every mental crisis I go through, every epiphany, I want to cut my hair, or I want to dye my hair, or, you know, get new nails. Maybe, yes, the nails, but I haven't really changed anything about myself. This is actually the first time I stayed whole, like, myself. Like, I don't feel thrown off, genuinely. I feel like I got back to kind of my teenage self a bit, but the better version. Like, Mel 2.5, you know?
Yeah, I feel like after every breakup, I've always been the type to be on some, like, all right, new me. And even though it's not even like nothing was new, I just revamped everything that I was already doing. Like, I always went to the gym, and I'm like, now I'm gonna go harder. I'm gonna start a new workout plan. I'm gonna keep on top of my protein shakes. I'm gonna start painting again. Like, every time, I don't know why, like, I always stop painting when I'm in a relationship. I love painting. Painting is my thing. And
I love that.
I always stop. And then every time we break up, I'm like, okay, you know what? I need my alone time. I need to paint with my little snacks and eat some little Cheetos and have my little moment by myself. But it's because I noticed that every time I was in a relationship, I sacrificed my alone time. I never knew how to tell someone, like, I want to be by myself for, like, you know, 2 days. Like, just not don't talk to me. We can still text and stuff, but, like, I literally just want to
chill.
Yeah, just watch TV, watch some fucking SpongeBob or something. Like,
be in your own company for a bit, you know.
Yeah.
you got to enjoy your own company to enjoy others as well. It does get overwhelming being around somebody for a very long time, whether it's friends or a partner. Like, I learned that as well. That was something I also learned from that experience, that we were always around each other. And, you know, it was very true when this was told to me. Like, we created something there where it was like a avoidant. I'm the avoidant attachment, and she's the avoidant. I was the anxious. So it's like I really want to do everything with you. I want to talk to you all the time. You know, I just want you to make me feel important, and you're just more laid back, and and you don't like that. And I feel like that was really what kind of
like she was always running and you were always chasing.
Yeah, but I never also minded there's a lot of things that it was made to seem like I had a problem with it, and I wouldn't have a problem with the things that I had a problem with in another relationship with someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, no.
It's just when you know a person too well, there's certain things that you're like, actually, I don't fuck with that when you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that I get 100%. 100%. One thing, this goes back to something we were talking about with grieving, like, you know, all at once or little by little kind of thing. I remember I had one relationship that I had the weirdest grieving experience because I kind of felt guilty as soon as he broke up with me for wanting it to end. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I knew the end was coming.
Guilt?
I was still sad that it was happening. Yeah, but because I felt guilty for being okay with it. Like, there was a part of me that was really like, you know what? I think he ripped off the Band-Aid that I didn't want to rip off because I felt like maybe he didn't see what I was seeing in terms of like what we were lacking in this relationship. And I was like, fuck, like, he's a good guy, he's a good person, all this stuff. But I'm like, there's something missing. And I feel like if I break up with him, I legit don't have a good reason outside of this doesn't feel right. So then he broke up with me. And like, I was sad though. Like, I was really sad. And it's almost like he kind of like, we both cut each other off like cold turkey. But here I was like wondering like, why isn't he as sad as I am? Like, why is he posting and he's not as depressed and yada, yada, yada? Because him breaking up with me, it wasn't like I don't want to be with you anymore. It's like both of us realizing like this shit was not going to work out. Like, this isn't. So I'm like, wait, like, okay, so if we both kind of feel the same, why aren't you as sad? Why me knowing that I kind of didn't want to be in this is sadder than you are? This isn't making sense. Like, it
ain't adding up. 2 + 2 is 5 right here.
Like, but then my birthday was coming, and then he told me happy birthday like super late in the day. And I'm like, all right, that's fucked up.
Ouch.
Like, yo, we just broke up like a month ago. Like, you, even like 1 a.m. would have been fine. But I'm just like, there was too many weird things. And it was like the oddest breakup experience for me because I would be really happy. Like, you know what? I finally broke free from that. And he did something for me that I didn't have to do. You know, he kind of ripped off the Band-Aid. Cool. But then there was a part that got like really used to the routine, got really used to having a boyfriend, just like having someone to talk to during certain times and stuff. And it was just such a weird, conflicting type of grief. And I feel like I've never talked about it because I feel like I would always sound like a bitch if I spoke about it out loud. But it was so odd. Like, I was celebrating and grieving at the same time.
Yeah, it's strange. It's funny because when I got out of my relationship, you would think that my friends were like, oh, everything is going to be okay, Mel. You're going to be fine. No, you would think, but my friends were congratulating me. It was kind of like condolences. Like, like, they were so happy. They were like, oh, you know, we got to celebrate the one month, the no contact. Did we ever celebrate it? No, because it was never consistent for real, the no contact. Like, it was like, it's funny because, you know, like, it's really hard for me because, for instance, there's certain milestones that I do go, that, like, you know, we're going to go through growing up, and it's just like the thought of us not being there for each other is kind of like triggering because it's like, I'm not going to lie, I really would love you to be there, but I know that you can't because I can allow myself to be where I was with you.
Yeah.
At that point, you know what I mean? You can love me and I can love you from afar. Like, it's just, that's something that was created there, and there's no hate. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really fully, I haven't really forgave, I guess, as I thought that I did. Forgiveness is really hard. Like, genuinely, I forgave, I let it go, but it's certain things that you really wouldn't know what you would do until you're in that position, you know? So It's really hard. It's definitely hard.
What does moving on mean to you? Like, what does it mean to have officially been moved on? And do you think that you're there yet? Or do you think you're still like in the process?
You know, it's a process for sure. It takes others longer. Me, I think I'm definitely in the middle. Like, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good spot. I'm healing. I do wake up some days like randomly like, wow, I can't believe. I can't believe I allowed that. I can't believe I went through that. Like, you know, but then I get over it because at the end of the day, the day gotta end. So, you know, tomorrow will always be better. You know, we can't sit there and like reminisce, but yeah.
No, moving on is stubborn.
Moving on for me definitely is very stubborn. That's a great word.
Yeah.
It's very melancholic as well. Like I said, there's a lot of things I wish they could be a part of, vice versa. But yeah, you know, it's like it can't even be a friendship there because for what?
Yeah, too much damage has been done.
Right. And it's just it's not healthy for me. And you know, for a long time they didn't respect that I expressed that it wasn't healthy to me, even when they would break the no contact and hit me up and this and that. It would just it'll really hurt because it's just like, wow, you're hitting me up, but you're still doing exactly what I told you I do not like. Like, as for hanging out with people and giving your time to people who just are not good. Like, and it's like, it sucks that you think that those are the people that you're equally yoked with. And those are the people that are like, I don't even gotta say much because
not the best for you.
You know.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I never understood, like, why are you breaking no contact? Like, because
it's hard. I hate it. I hate it. I would never break no contact. And I feel like we kind of had to break contact because, you know, we're cat moms. We have a cat together. His name is Salem. He's a black cat. He's beautiful. He's himself. He's great. But it was that. I feel like she would use that as a manipulation. Like, hit me up.
Are you guys
like,
still sharing the cat?
Are you gonna share responsibility with him with me? And it was like a hard thing because my plan was never to break up.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was endgame for me. Like, you have to understand that. Like, the crib, the house, the car, the kids, I thought it was you.
Yeah.
The cat, I didn't think that there was gonna be a separation there that created a co-parenting relationship.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. Like, I didn't expect that. I did not see that at all. My cat had to grow to like dogs. My cat loves dogs. I think he's a dog himself sometimes. Like, so I left him over there. I felt like that was just a better decision because why would I take him away from his friends, you know? And I know that he's very well taken care of and he's loved immensely. And I don't need to be there for him to know that I love him, you know? It sucks. I miss my cat every day. It was always us, like, you know, to have another pet that, like, is just there for you and like, understands you and just is there with you. But no, we do not share custody of the cat anymore. Like,
that's so sad.
The cat is hers.
I don't like that.
I would have loved to take my cat. I would have loved to share the cat, but it's just like living circumstances, people with allergies. Like, I had a dog at the time. My dog was a pit, territorial. It was just not working, you know? Yeah, but that's where the no contact was broken there. It was broken a few times. She would send me pictures here and there like, oh, I love this picture. Like, and I'll be like, my Shayla, I love it too. I love you. But I can't.
I would just leave it on red. I would just
no, yeah, I did a lot. Recently she hit me up. Like, she texted me after I ran into her, actually. I ran into her publicly after my birthday with the ex-girlfriend at Target. So after that, it kind of like something shifted automatically because I didn't tell her happy birthday, but I sent her a paragraph, and in that paragraph, I said happy early birthday, and she didn't say happy birthday to me. She has some type of resentment towards the fact that certain people that were her friends created a relationship with me, and they just continued to pursue that and decided to do that. There was always boundaries on my end, but I guess like she created that and didn't say happy birthday, and yeah. She also called me to tell me that she was going on a trip for her birthday earlier on in the month and told me she was going with her family, this, that, and the third. And then when I asked her with who else, she told me no one. Come to find out.
Oh my God. Yo, like.
Yeah, like it was crazy. So that's after I ran into them in Target together.
She just over here
Girl.
with her birthday vacations.
Girl,
just
yes.
picking
And
one.
it's just like one of the things I don't like is when, like, if me and you are not together, why am I still finding out tea about you months later?
And why is
I
she even calling you to tell you?
I don't know, because sometimes people want to talk.
No.
And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I will never deny somebody my shoulder. Like, we don't have to talk. We can never talk. Like, we could fall off. But if you call me in a desperate moment, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. Like, because it's in me, not on me. Like, it's just who I am as a person. Like, I love. And there's nothing that's going to take that away from me.
Yeah.
And that relationship was meant to amplify my heart, not make it cold. You know what I mean? So the no contact sucks. I don't know. I never really understood the purpose. Why you hitting me up?
Yeah.
I don't talk to you. I don't want to. As much as I do, no.
What is something you would say to someone who's in a situation where they just got broken up with a week ago? What do you think is the best thing that you could say to them at that point in time?
Take your time. That's what I would tell somebody or anybody going through a breakup, something very hard, whether it's platonically, romantically. Take your time. Don't lash out. Don't be impulsive. Control your emotions. It's a really hard thing to do. Genuinely, I think that was the hardest thing I had to work on, to be able to not show that I'm mad or that I'm sad, or just to not react. No reaction is always good, instead of exploding and lashing out. And then, you say things when you're angry. Just take time. Take all the time you need. Don't ever feel like you need to move on.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel like just because they're moving on that there's something wrong with you, because sometimes you aren't the problem. They are. Peace is where you want to be after a heartbreak. Alone is where you would want to be, or surrounded with love and friends. Intimately with somebody else, I don't think so. As for healing, that's just not healing. That's just creating more trauma and more feelings that they're gonna eventually run from, which is why they ran from you. Because it's really what it be. They don't know how to deal with their emotions, and they run away from you.
Yeah.
They don't know how to deal with the emotions they have for you. Yeah, it's hard, but like I said, something I would say is whatever God puts you through, he's going to get you through and get you out of.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
I'm trying to think
God knows your heart. As long as you know that you did everything right and everything that you could to make it, happen and fall in line, then it's okay. It's genuinely okay. You will be okay. Yeah.
I think for me, for anybody who made it just a week post breakup.
A week?
Yeah, I would say congratulations.
Congratulations.
No, the first week is the hardest part. That's what I think. I think you have to make it through a full 7 days without someone to get a glimpse of what your life is without them. Because I feel like you get used to the routine. I feel like, if you know.
You think so?
Yeah. The first week is it's the worst, because you're officially, for as long as there is no contact with the person, you're officially experiencing life without this person. And, you're not texting them before they go to the gym. I mean, that's if they do, they're not letting you know when they got home, or they're not seeing you on the weekend. You need the whole week, I think, to really feel it. For me, the first week after a breakup, crying, screaming, throwing up. That's me. And
It's not normal that I didn't go through that. It's dead not normal that I didn't go through that. Like, hearing you talk right now is like, wow. And all my other friends and other people, based off their experience, I did not cry.
Yeah.
Like, I think that if you're in a situation like me, that you did not cry and you kind of like shut off your emotions, the only piece of advice I can give you is to feel. Sit there and bask in your emotions. Let yourself feel everything, because that's the only way you're going to be able to finally figure out where to start with yourself on healing and moving on, you know?
Yeah, you need to cry it out, because after crying, you got to find out what made you cry.
Right.
Because it's like, you got to find out what you missed. Because if you realize that like you're missing these, like the bad parts of a person, then you got to start thinking like, whoa, like they fucked me up bad. And then that's going to get you to a point where you're like, actually, I should have never gone through that. You know, like everybody deals with things very differently. But I think that if you feel all the waves of emotion, like you realize like, wait, I'm crying, but I'm crying because I'm angry. Or like, oh, I got this like brief moment of just like feeling okay. And it's because you feel relief because you weren't dealing with something that you were dealing with every day. Or you start realizing like, I'm not feeling this like weird feeling in my stomach of anxiety on my walk home because this person's not clocking me and waiting for me to call. You know, like I feel like that first week but in that first week, you also have to go through your own routine. Like I think in that first week, like I wouldn't stop going to the gym. I would still go, but I would also recognize how it's making my body feel. It's how it's making me feel. You would have to
create one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me, it was more of a, hey, you need to stop what you're doing, feel real quick. But I was also in a routine. Like I also built my routine. I started going to the gym. I started going out. I started going on walks. I started doing anything to keep me occupied. Anything that's health-wise, you know?
Like,
yeah.
Ugh. I don't know. I feel like it's once you're at rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. So
literally, it's just up from there, you know. Sometimes you got to be down to be right where you want to be. Sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. Sometimes you have to have uncomfortable conversations.
Even with yourself.
Yeah, to be comfortable in life or to get where you want to get, you know?
Yep. So I think that just about wraps it up. Do you have any final words to those listening?
Yeah, I do. The reason dating in this generation is so hard, and the reason why, you know, things don't work out, is not more of a you thing. It's not really a us thing. It's just, think about it like this. There's a lot of people who don't master what they should have in adolescence. There's a lot of things people lack that they should have mastered in adolescence. There's a lot of things that it makes no sense to be taught at 25 when you should have learned it when you were 18 or 16 or 12 or 10. You know what I mean? Like that one. As well as, you know, dating is really hard as well, because a lot of people we know come from enablers. Like they're surrounded by enablers. They're surrounded by people who won't clock them
or don't care enough to.
Like you said earlier, you know, I clock my friends, and that's what being friends is. That's the fundamental thing of a friendship in a relationship. Like, if you're not gonna correct me and if you're not gonna tell me you're bugging, why are we friends? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? If
you don't make me better, then why?
If I have to go against my morals when it comes to you wanting to do something that you like but is wrong, and I'm telling you shouldn't do that because the outcome is bad. Yeah. That's where the, you know.
To conclude this breakup episode, I just want to tell some people that sometimes it's just not meant to be. I'm a big believer in fate and all that good stuff. And sometimes you just weren't meant for each other. Your lives weren't compatible. Maybe you were compatible people, but you guys want different things out of life, and that's okay. Like, I feel like we're finally at an age where it's like, you can find people who emotionally things click, but if your goals and where you want to be in 10 years aren't the same place, then you gotta go. Like, I feel like those are things that now that we're getting older, like our brains are shifting from like, oh, that's a good boyfriend, that's a good girlfriend, to like know what makes a good partner and like, you know, companion. So I would say to keep that in mind, and it's okay to let something go because it served you up until this period of your life and you realize, you know what, I want something more, you know, more solid or more reliable, more stable. That's okay. And I think that sometimes when you don't know what it is that's getting in the way of like you loving this person as much as you can or like being as into the relationship as you can, sometimes that's what it is. So just to leave you something to think about. Well, yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave 5 stars wherever you're listening or viewing this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.